So I want to take a second before we get started here, Johnny, because this is really important. And did I spell your name wrong? Because I see you got Jonny and I got an H here.
That's all right, man. A lot of people do.
I apologize for that. So ignore the H in there. Just everybody, that's a figment of your imagination. There is no H there. I promise you. Before we get started, let's see. Where is she? Can I get Ariel? Can you come on? Where you at, Ariel?
Hey, I'm here.
All right, there she is. Can we all give her a hand, because she has been absolutely amazing helping me out today, making sure that people are put on spot, making sure these sessions get recorded so you guys can all get them, because if it wasn't for her, I probably would have forgot at least 2 times to hit record, and she's been right on it. I just went to check now, and I'm like, wow, it's there. So it's awesome to have somebody who can help take care of these things. And like I said in an earlier session, these classes don't get put together just on a whim really easy. It takes quite a bit of planning and a lot of people to put these together. So thank you so much. I mean, she's giving her time where she could be helping Mark do something else, especially because he can't read right now because he had eye surgery. And Johnny, I mean, he's taking time out of his day to come and teach us all. So like the rest of the teachers as well. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks,
So far,
Ryan.
this has been a very great day, and I look forward to next month. Talking about next month, just because I know the way this goes, a lot of you end up jumping off the call, and I want to make sure that we do have it already planned for next month. April 27th, we will be doing this same time, same channel. The only difference is different people will be teaching, and I am looking right now for those teachers. So if you guys have anybody you've heard that teaches really, really well and you like to hear from them, even if they're out of our region, that's okay. I don't mind reaching out to people out of our region. I've been trying to feature people in our region because I think that's important to highlight our speakers. But if you've got somebody you really like to hear from, please let me know. Put it in the chat. And also, same thing with our keynote. If there's an agent that just performs really well that you like to hear from, instead of me just going out and finding those people who I know are performing well in a region, it might be somebody you guys really look up to and want to hear from. So I'd be happy to bring them in. So just let me know. All right, Johnny, now we're going to jump over to you. And this is your session where you're going to take us into the world of mobile apps and sites. And I talk a lot about the 3 pillars. And this is not one of those 3 pillars, but to be able to do those 3 pillars, this fits into that, which is into smart plans. So I'm going to allow you to work your magic. Thank you so much, sir.
Ryan, do you want me to start off with mobile apps or do you want me to start off with sites?
You can start off with whatever you want. You're the teacher.
Well, I'll start off with mobile apps because it's very easy, very simple actually to use. If you haven't used it, please do so. I love using my mobile app when I go on listing appointments. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So under mobile apps, you guys know you can look at properties, what's active and all that, especially with the Kelly site also. But under mobile apps, if you go into your consumer, into command, which you see here, click on consumer, it'll bring you up to this page here. Click on guide builder. We're going to discuss these 2 right here, building and selling. If you go over here to the right, edit the guide, you can create your own steps on how the checklist will be for your buyers. Or you can do the same thing. Let me go back one. You can create your own guides for the seller. And what's good about these is because, as you can see, show your home, review offers, inspection, appraisals, you can add steps to these to make it your own. So when your client, your customer is on your mobile app and they see what's next, or they want to know what's next, you can talk to them, hey, log on, you can see the steps that we're doing. And you can also move steps around. As you can see, let me put this back before I forget. And you can actually move them around however you want. And then go back to the buyer because I have more in there. You can edit these as well. Once you click on these little 6 dots over here, it brings up the edited screen. You can change whatever you want. You can add your card subtitles, the workspace for everything on each section. Or if you don't like it, you can go ahead and just delete it. Delete that step. As you can see, this is the basic buying checklist that you have for your clients. If you're missing one, just add a step. Simple as that. Create a custom step, select the default step, and just start drag and dropping your own photos, your own pictures, and stuff like that. Any questions on the guide builder? Because that's basically all you're doing is with the mobile app. All right, so I'll move into the website. As you can see, my website looks a little bit different than some of y'all. I added my own pictures here. My own logo with the DBA name. But if you look up here, I have my own each landing page for each one. About me, well, about my group, how to contact us, how to apply for a loan, so on and so on. Even my own school search. You can create anything you want. This is around where I'm at right now in the West Palm Beach area, the 33411 area code. You can create whatever you want on your website to make it your own. The difference between some of you guys, I don't know if you guys remember Playster. I love the way Command came out with this website. With Playster, you had to be very careful, because if I would click on one of these right here, let's say apply for a home loan. And if I hit apply, and on Playster, if you didn't select the bottom of it to open up in a new window, it would open up in the same window you're at. And just like you guys know, when you start clicking over and over, and you'll start throwing up windows up there, and all of a sudden your consumer forgets where were they at from the beginning. The reason I like Command is because they automatically built that in. So if I open up a different one, it keeps me on my website. We're hiring. If I want to, I also connected my trusted pros from Homekeeper. Everything I want to do in here, it's all in here. My consumer never leaves my website. Just like Amazon, when you click on something, they always suggest something else, but they never let you leave unless you exit on all the stuff out. So now let's get to the agent site. You go into Command, you go down here to Consumer. This is where you start building out your website. I forgot who mentioned it, but Lori Ballin, she's very good. I love looking at Lori Ballin stuff. And there's also Scott Leroy. They will show you how to do landing pages for each one of these. I have a third-party site, KCM, and they're my blogs on my website. So if you have one of those third-party sites that give you blogs and stuff like that, just incorporate it into your own Command website. Homekeeper also gives you blogs. You can also incorporate Homekeeper into this. So very simple. Just configure your site. I want you to use my new, when you go in here, oh, I'm sorry, when you go in here, go down here to say configure your site. Select the first one. I want to use the new KW site, submit. And it's very simple. It's like plug and play, which is not that hard to figure out. Get started. You have to acknowledge this. here you go. Your subdomain. If you don't have a subdomain, I would suggest you get one. I bought my domain, the velezgroup.com. So if I just put in the velezgroup.com, it'll still go to the velezgroup.kw.com. Still goes back to my website. Buy your domain name. Your marketing profile up. Let me go up here. If you don't change this here, where it says team or business name, it will. If you don't change that, it will tell you, it will say Keller Williams. So if you have a team name, just make sure down here where it says team or business name, you put your team name, group name, or your name, however you want it to represent right here. Add in your professional titles, add in your compliance legal footer. Make sure you put in your compliance legal footer. I put in there about wiring. We do not wire. And there's some stuff that I didn't want added in here, so I just left it blank. Add your picture, your logos, then just hit save and continue. Oh. This is one thing about this. Once you go in here and you already have set it up, if you don't go back through, then it takes you right next to the next step. This here, where you guys see these pictures, these are my pictures from my previous listings. You can add your own pictures on here. You can add up to 5. You can add whatever pictures you want. Like I said, I love this KW website because you can make it your own. Just like the Play Store, they allowed you to make it your own. KW Command does the same thing. You can choose a red theme or dark theme. The home page header right here, it's here. Here's the home page hero images. Once you have that all selected, just go ahead and hit save and continue, and it takes you to the next step. Customize your site content, your navigation, your company profile, about us, or however your SEO description, the content. Once you're done with that, just hit continue, and it takes you step by step. And that's basically it on the website. There's nothing very hard about this. Any questions?
Yeah, so after you configure it, and you look at your website and you notice that, oh, I need to make a change. Do you still have to go back through the configure button?
Yes.
You do,
Every
okay.
time you go in there and change anything, you have to go through all these steps and configure your website again.
Okay, thank you.
Larry put our legal compliance by Market Center. If so, who is our contact? The legal compliance you can get with your MCA or your team or your broker, and they will tell you what you can put into the legal compliance for your website.
Hey, Johnny, can you point out one thing? Can you go into the app and site settings in Command? It's in the top right corner there.
I got you. Here it goes. So, what do you want to know from this, Ryan?
If you could just kind of walk them through this part of it here, why this is here and the different tabs.
Okay. So once you configure everything, let me go back. Once you configure all your landing pages and everything you have going on, you need to activate it. So here's the general, here's the URLs. Here's my feature listings, themes, but this is right here where it says agent site pages. Under the Velez group, the page title will be the Velez group, the URL slug about dash the Velez group, and give it a small description, SEO, search engine optimization. This is basically how people find you on Google, Bing, Yahoo, wherever your people are looking through. Once you have set your SEO, just hit save. This will activate, this will make sure it's actually live on your website. So once it goes live, you'll see this here. It'll be green. If there's an error, I don't know if you guys changed this, Ryan, but if there, last time it was an error, it was red or like a dark gray, like it wasn't active.
Right.
You see all these green, that means they're active and live on your site.
We're doing some changes in there because I don't know if you noticed, you can't, once you create a web page, you can't go back and edit it right now. But those
Yes.
3 little dots, if you click on that, click on it and see if they launched it yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming very soon where you'll be able to edit right from there now.
When Command first came out with this and you were doing landing pages and you messed up, they didn't have an edit button. So you would have to delete the whole page and start all over again. That was very frustrating. Then the second round came through and all of a sudden the edit button was on there. It was like Christmas. Oh my God, we have a new present now. So let me go back here. This is where you make sure here under your subdomain it's correct. And down here is the app URL for your own mobile app. Under featured listings, you can actually enter select featured listings. Like if you're a listing agent or you work on a team and the Rainmaker wants on your websites to feature your listing, this is where you will put them on. The theme, self-explanatory, the same as I told you earlier, red theme or dark theme, but this is the most, this right here is the most valuable to everything. Make sure you give each one some type of description, because if someone's looking for a mortgage calculator and you have it in here, simple mortgage calculator optimization, mortgage costs, mortgage interest calculator, these words will come up in their search and you will be either on the first page of the Google, Bing, or Yahoo, whatever search engine they're using. But if you don't have nothing under the SEO description, you'll never come up. So make sure each one is related to something.
While you're right here, there's a question here I want to make sure we get to as well. And just to hit on what you're talking about there in the SEO description too, it doesn't have to be just rattled off list of words. In fact, Google kind of likes it better when you give more descriptive talk. So don't just put like Punta Gorda, Key West.
No.
You don't want to put words like that. You want to describe what's going on, but try and get as much in there as you can while you're describing it.
I like to go on YouTube, search for the keywords, because that right now is the biggest search engine now there is, other than Google or Alexa or whatever you have. If you go to YouTube and if you look on the right hand side, it'll give you keywords for whatever you're looking for. So if you have let's say school search, just type in on YouTube school search and look to the right hand side, and they'll give you all kinds of keywords.
Yeah, the other thing I was trying to bring up while we were here too, somebody was asking if there's a different way you could have your menu set up. Instead of having the drop down, can you have it go in landscape mode across the screen?
I have not figured that out yet. Command has not released it. We are not that plug and play yet. They're trying to keep it very simple for the agents.
Yeah, it's
So
customization comes a little bit later. They're trying to get the platform foundation out first before they start adding all that customization stuff in.
And somebody also, John, put in there on the chat, can clients get access to the MLS listings through our website? They can get listings through our website because if they're listed, our website pulls from the MLS. So that's what they're seeing.
And not only that, our website is one of the very few that can actually do it all over. If you noticed before with Placer and that, we were only limited to the area we're in. So if you're in West Palm Beach, you could only search that MLS. You can search the MLS in Colorado now. You can search the MLS in New York now.
Yes, with Placer, we're very limited to the areas that we were at. And
on top of that, our search is even more dynamic because if you were to type in a specific landmark, it'll pull up based on the landmark. A good example I like to down in you guys' area is the Hard Rock. Actually, I like to call it was it Joe Robbie Stadium because that's not what it's called anymore, and it still finds it.
Let me see that. No, they took it out.
No, keep going.
It'll
Do it. It'll find it. Just type it and hits enter.
Yeah. Still there.
So I like to show that when I'm talking to recruits outside of Keller Williams and show them, hey, we can do this. Now, if you go do the same thing on Zillow or Realtor.com, you're not going to get it. Like I type in White House and I end up in White House, Tennessee, not at the White House. So you can't search by landmarks.
Also, a good thing I do with my website, especially this, we're hiring. This is a landing page. I connect each one of my pages with my mobile app down here. I've done recruiting already from Texas to California just off this, and I just put it out there. Your website is such a great recruiting tool if you want to build your downline for your profit share. So this is one of the pages I suggest you guys actually do. Hold on, Daniela goes, can you please share where you got the mortgage calculator from? How did you add it as an additional agent site page? Okay. Yes, Daniela.
Before you go into that, I want to make one stipulation on this, okay? I don't mind that you share this. What I want to do is explain why I don't think you have to, though, okay? Because if any property you go on here has a mortgage calculator built into that property through Keller Mortgage, so you can get that mortgage calculator there.
That's what I was
anytime
going to say.
you add a page to it, you're causing the load time to become slower and slower.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to our world we're in, everybody's about speed. So the faster you can get that page to load, the better. And that's why our pages are built the way they are built, is for speed.
So, like Orion said, it's true. If you notice this, how quickly mine loaded up because it's Keller Mortgage, because it's our stuff. But now if I go to my third-party blogs, you see the difference? It takes a while. Danielle, to answer your question, when you're here, you can download the Keller Mortgage widget. Keller Mortgage, if you go onto their actual website, they'll walk you right through on how to add it to your command. And it's already incorporated the mortgage calculator on it. Before, I used to have just a separate mortgage calculator, which was just, that's all it was, just a mortgage calculator, no other fluff on it. But now with Keller Mortgage here, and I also have Keller Covered as well, which I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm killing two icons on one landing page. And the way I got that, you can actually go to Scott Leroy. Let me see if I had that up. No, I don't have it up, but Scott Leroy will walk you through the steps on how to add Keller Mortgage to your KW command. Everything you guys see on my website, I either got through Scott Leroy or Lori Ballin. And the other one I use is the Jackson team, PS Jackson team. Those are the three I constantly look at because I'm looking at their websites. I'm like, wow.
Yep. So our amazing Ron went ahead and got that video for you. So she's got it in the chat. That's perfect, Ariel.
If that's it, Ryan, I can post it for you.
Yeah, it is it. And I'll let you post it since you found it so quickly. She's on it. I was thinking the exact same thing, but I thought you had it up, so I left it alone, and she just snagged it and got it in there for you.
Yeah, I see that. Just follow the steps, and it's actually very easy to do. Scarlett Roy, I love Scarlett Roy. He takes his time explaining it, and they'll do it step by step. You can't go wrong. This is where I got all mine from, right here. And like they were talking about earlier about branding, everything you do has to be consistent throughout everyone on whatever social platform you're on. Your colors, your fonts, everything has to be consistent. That's how people are going to remember you. Ryan, that's it for me, unless anybody have any other questions.